So the time has come for me to do something that I've been avoiding for months. For months. February hit and my kids brought it to my attention that they hadn't talked to their dad in months. Like he hadn't contacted them, his number was disconnected. I looked back at my text messages and it had been a year. Like they're teenagers, they're at the age where I didn't have to talk to him anymore, which for me worked. It worked because we divorced. It was a great love story, but it was a rocky marriage. He had a has, I'm not gonna talk in past tense, he has an addiction to alcohol, and it really led to the demise of our marriage. There's nothing more that I wanted to raise our children together. But you could only take so much. So, as I vlog, I think about this topic and I've been throwing it around to my friends, getting their opinions over the last couple of months. Like, my kids miss their dad. My kids wonder where their dad is. Um, they're asking me to help them find him. And nothing in my soul wanted to find him for me. But after talking to my friends, talking to my husband, it's like something that I have to do for them. One of the things that bonded my husband and I is that we had this in common. Dealing with a spouse, parent of your children that had an addiction to alcohol. And it's nothing nice. It's nothing nice. The stories we exchanged, the feelings that we had, things you had to deal with that you tried to hide from your kids and hope you never had to tell them. But then eventually you have to tell them. Then you learn that they actually remember stuff. They actually end up remembering more than you hoped. So, I've talked to my friends, I've talked to my husband, talked to friends in law enforcement. One of my friends in law enforcement suggested that I do a welfare check or request a welfare check on the last known address, which as he bounced around. Of course, when you have alcohol addiction, you can't keep a steady job. Oftentimes, you can't keep a relationship. I was the person he was with the longest in his entire life. I mean, he got my good years, my 20s. We met, well, we went to high school together. He was silly. I couldn't stand him. But we reintroduced ourselves in 1997 and we dated and hung out, and it wasn't until 2001 that I had Kamaria, my first child. So we went a long time without kids, just having fun. And I drank as much as he did, but the difference is after we had kids and had a home to maintain and all of that, I started my career. I changed, but he never did. So in 2001, we had our first daughter. I didn't want her to be an only child, even though I didn't have hope for the marriage at that point. I remember the exact day I conceived my son, and he was born 3 years and 2 days to the birth of my daughter in 2004. Actually, I was 5 months pregnant with my son. His father's namesake, a junior. I was 5 months pregnant when we got married because I was determined to try and make it work and raise a family together, and that giving him something he never had. I grew up with two parents. My brother, same home, same house our whole childhood, same phone number. Like, I had that life. We were from the same city, but different neighborhoods. He lived on the other side of the tracks. It didn't matter. That didn't matter to me. I mean, we had a lot in common. Despite that. Anyway, I am about to go through the process of filing a missing persons report. I've never done it before. I've kind of researched it. We've already checked the jails. We've already checked the morgues, hospitals, and nothing. And I'm working with his sister. His friends are calling me. Everyone's calling me, even though I'm his ex-wife. But because I have his children, I understand that now. I didn't get it at first. You expect everyone to see where you are now, but that's all they know, that I was with him the longest, that I have his children, and that if he didn't contact anyone else, he would stay in contact with me. And that is actually how it was. But he's been missing for a year. He missed his daughter's graduation from high school, her 18th birthday, his son's birthday. Like I said, they're both May 11th, May 13th. His birthday's May 20th. He never used to miss a holiday. Birthdays, major events, Christmas, even just to mail a card. Even times he was homeless, he would mail a card. So, I'm going to let go of my personal feelings on whether or not I ever see or talk to him again and try and help my kids find their dad. The only thing I'm afraid of is a couple things. What if we don't find him? Or what if something tragic has happened? So, and then what if we do find him and he needs help? Like, all these people that are calling me, his friends, his cousins, his sister, he has no living parents that we know of. His mother is not living. May she rest in peace. That was my girl. Grandparents gone. Never knew his father, which is why I thought he would be a great father, but he just hasn't been able to kick the addiction. So he loves his kids, but when you're sick, you just can't parent. You can't. I just hope I have support if I find him and he needs help, because I can't do it by myself. And his kids are teenagers. They shouldn't have to help, but they just want to know he's okay. So whoever's watching this, if you've seen Camus Freeman Sr., let him know his kids are looking for him. You can comment or message me on my YouTube page. But we're looking for you. We're looking for you. Oh my God, it was hard. It's not a fun topic. Oh, look at my vein. Oh, I'm gonna need Botox. I'm gonna need Botox so you can't see my emotions.